super sick question. We'll go ahead and get into this. Can't wait to jump in the trailer and talk about this. Let's go. So this is a really good question. After moving that drum sub up on the riser, am I having to mess around with my phases at all to keep my drum sound intact in front of house? Short answer is yes. Probably not in the way that you think it is. I know you mentioned that gating takes care of most of the things, and that's what I'm doing in my setup in front of house. I'm using frequency dependent gating, so just going in and using the sidechain filters on the gates to ignore all of the high end, ignore all the super sub low end frequency, and to really open up kind of like in the upper mids. Most of my sidechains in my gates are set anywhere from 400 hertz all the way up to 1K. I know there's a lot of people that'll die on this hill saying that gating the low frequency is better than gating the high frequency. No, it's not. High frequency travels faster than low frequency, so if you're triggering your gate off of the high frequency, it's going to open up faster than if you trigger it off the low frequency. So say if I have two kick drums, sidechaining one gate off of 50 hertz, and I'm sidechaining another gate off of 900 hertz, the gate that's being triggered off of 900 hertz will open up faster than the gate that's being triggered off of 50 hertz 100% of the time. And that's just because of physics, guys. You're not going to be able to go in and change that. I'm sorry, you can't alter physics to your will. Use physics to your advantage out here. So if you are going to use a sidechain filter on your gates, make sure that you're triggering it off of the highest possible frequency you can get the job done with, because that's going to open your gate the fastest. It'll also keep your gate pretty responsive and true to form of whatever transient information, whatever drum you're throwing at it. For me, every single day, my biggest phase chasing is in my vocal mics. The very first phase I check every single day, funny enough, is the relationship between the snare and the lead vocal mic. So 90% of the time, if I'm fighting my drum sound live, that's what it is. It's because my center vocal mic and my snare mic are out of phase. It takes you half a second to check the phase on a source anyway. So as soon as I go ahead and make like a quick 5-second decision on the center vocal mic, I'm going around and hitting that phase switch all throughout that entire session. I'm popping the phase on my kick out, I'm popping the phase on my kick in, I'm popping the phase on my snare top and bottom, I'm popping the phase on my toms, I'm even popping the phase on my guitar channels and on my bass channels. My guys are on modelers, but they also run cabs. Sometimes those cabs are so screaming loud, dude, that even in environments like this, it'll still mess with me in front of house sometimes. A quick good trick is just flip the phase of the guitar cabs, and you'll get a lot of that guitar tone back in your PA. Same thing with the bass. Flip the phase of the bass sometimes. If you're ever fighting it on stage, flip the phase of the bass. PA cancels the bass coming off the stage, and then you're able to get more of that in your mix. So long story short, I'm not too terribly worried about the phase relationships with the subwoofer being up on the riser. That's something that just helps my drummer out with the low frequency contact. And then it's just like you said earlier, all my gates are triggering all my shells and stuff like that anyway, so the subwoofer is really not messing with me at all. My biggest thing is making sure that the subwoofer is not pointing straight out to front of house, because he likes it so freaking loud that it will mess with me in front of house. That's why whenever you see my drum sub setups, they're always like pointing to the side, 90 degrees in front of house. Or in this case, just like you see today, whenever it's not off to the side, side cocked, it'll be facing directly towards one of those side fills. That way it's not messing with me at all in front of house.